Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with our Revolt Counters deck. Without further ado, let's get into the game, shall we? I'll see you there. Okay, we are in, and we're on the play. If we had an extra land, I'd be all for this hand, but I think we can do better. Ooh, turn 2 Liberator with a fight and Tireless Tracker. Seems pretty good to me. So Forest into Renegade map so we can trigger Revolt for next turn and grab the black source that we are missing. See what our opponent's doing. Our survey says green. Green bodes well. Okay. Right, so. Oh, well, there's a black source. And let's go grab another swamp. Don't want to let our opponent know we've just drawn that swamp. And let's get out a 4-3 on turn 2. Nice bit of pressure for us. We have a fight mechanic to get past whatever creature he may put down if we choose to do so. Also trample if he puts 2 creatures down for some ungodly reason that ends up happening. Green-black. Hello, Winding Constrictor. Now, we definitely want you off the table. Because we might be in a mirror match. And we can't be having that now, can we? Right. Renegade we can't actually trigger. Do we want to play it anyway? I'm not sure. I think maybe we don't fight it just yet. We'd go see if he wants to trade first. Which is highly doubtful, but you never know. Nope, no trades. Alright. On that crazy note, yeah, I think we'll just play the tracker. We'll get it next turn. If our opponent wants to remove the tracker, then they're not making use of the Constrictor, and we can take it out next turn anyway. Obsessive Skinner. A decent card. So he gets to put 2 counters on it. That's actually annoying. And Bone Splinters. Going for our tracker. Ah! Well, Nature's Way with the Renegade's going to deal with that problem anyway, so. You want to get in? He wants to hold back blockers, so we're going to punish him for that. And an Oath of Nissa. We can do all of those things today. Cool. Right, play our Forest. Let's go Oath of Nissa first, I guess. See what we can find. Another Tireless Tracker. Looks good to me. As for playing you, I don't really want to. I think I just want to Renegade. Nature's Way to get that off the board. Swing for 4 damage. I was hoping to sack a clue to trigger Revolt on the Renegade, but it's not actually an option for us here. So let's fight. The Death Touch is going to kill it. And swing in for 4. So we are low on cards, but Tireless Tracker is going to get us some clues which can trigger Revolt and gain us card advantage, plus pumping up the Tireless Tracker. So we're in a pretty decent spot right now. And thankfully we have a land to trigger said ability as well first. He's going to go destroy the Oath of Nissa, so that's completely fine. We do have the mana in order to make the most of that. So he's not hurt us in the slightest there. We get another Nature's Way. So we could clear the way for an extra 1 point of damage. I'm not really for that, in all honesty. So it looks like it's going to be swing for 4 first. I don't really want to trade a Renegade off with a Sage just yet. I don't know if he's going to block here. My indication is no, and it is indeed the case. Okay. So Tireless Tracker, play a land. It's going to get us a Swamp. And a Clue. And we'll pass the turn. We can pretend to have a removal spell that we don't have. And crack this clue on our end step in response, if we so choose to do so. And then we can Nature's Way, get the Sage off the board, and we're swinging in for 9 next turn if he doesn't play a creature down. Or remove a creature. Dark Salvation. It's going to give our Renegade -2/-2. Alright, well, it taps it out, so we're going to sack this clue anyway. It's going to create some blockers. I think they come into play untapped. But, yeah, just onto the battlefield. Alright. That's unfortunate. However, the Gear Hulk is very fortunate for us, because that is pretty sweet. Ooh, and another Nature's Way. So he could Nature's Way, swing in. He can't trade with our creatures. We swing in for 8 there. He's forced to block. So he goes down to 1. Alternatively, we could stick counters on a lot of things, but then we can't swing in without trading. I think we just want to force the triple block here. Well, force the block after the Nature's Way anyway. We have Vigilance to stop any hasty shenanigans that might matter. Not likely. And then next turn we've got Gear Hulks to pump them all up and a Trampler for the turn after to just literally get through whatever he's got left. So, let's fight his Sage. Did that the wrong way around. I don't know why I went through the exact plan I was going to do and then didn't do it. Don't ask me. But he takes 1 less damage than he should there. Should have got the zombies, not the Sage. Eh well. Lethal's lethal. And that's what we've got. Short of a board wipe, of course. And it looks like he doesn't have it. Alright. Plays a land. Second main. That is a single creature. He's going to need another. Otherwise, he's dead. And that is not another. Okay. Play a land. Get a clue. Not going to crack the clue. We're just going to pump up our creatures so that if he has a pump spell, he doesn't trade. But, you know, it's a little bit pointless right now. 1-2. 1-2. And swing in. Short of removal and a chump, it's game. Well, there's the chump. And there's the game. Alright, very successful. Alright, I'll see you in the next game, guys. Alright, we are on the draw. We have Evolving Wilds to thin out a deck. It's a very heavy land hand here. But the Evolving Wilds with the Tireless Tracker and Revolt triggers seems okay. I think we can keep this, but it's not great. Black-white for our opponent, so this is either life drain, allies, or control of some sort. So I think we hold on to the Evolving Wilds until we've got a Tireless Tracker so we can get some extra value. Because we can go Forest here north of Nissa anyway, which might draw us into something nice next turn. Like a Narnum Renegade, we can crack a... There you go. We can crack an Evolving Wilds to give it an extra counter then. And trigger that Revolt. Works for me. Alright. Black-white, is there a third colour? No, it doesn't look like it. I'm guessing it's a control deck of some sort though. Alright, Evolving Wilds. Crack the Evolving Wilds. Stop drawing lands, hopefully. That's the plan. We'll get another Swamp. And play our Renegade with Revolt triggered for an extra counter. Okay, so next turn, I think we are going to play a Forest and pass short of another answer, because in these colours there is a lot of removal for Tireless Tracker, and I'd at least like to get 2 clue tokens out of him before he dies. And Athalia is very annoying, because that's going to mean our Evolving Wilds comes into play tapped. which is our way of triggering Revolt as well. Ooh, Prey Upon. So we could trade off our Renegade there, but then we can't cast the Tracker. So if we play the Evolving Wilds, it comes into play tapped. We've got our 3rd mana for next turn. We can crack the Evolving Wilds in response to the Tireless Tracker, which is as good as a land drop there. It's 3 converted mana costs, which means Fatal Push can't take it down without Revolt being triggered, so I think we're just going to put the Evolving Wilds down and pass the turn. We can't swing in because it's got first strike, so it will kill our Renegade before the Death Touch does anything good. So yeah, I'm guessing this is some sort of control matchup because that's a very good card for stalling out. Funny story, I have never used this card in my entire career of using Magic Duels. Not once. Liliana. Okay, that's a problem. Pumps it up on our Renegades, takes it down to a 0-2. And passes. Should have swung in there. There's not really much I can do. We've got a Rampager. Okay. So our options are to crack the Evolving Wilds and kill Thalia. Not much point to that, I wouldn't say. Alternatively, we can play our Forest, play Tireless Tracker, crack our Evolving Wilds to get a clue. We've got our value out of it then when it inevitably gets killed. Still no fighting to be done, unfortunately. So we can't exactly get our Rampager down an instant speed to prey upon, so let's go Forest, Tireless Tracker, comes into play tapped thanks to Thalia. And Cracker Evolving Wilds now. Get a green source. We don't need more than 2 black sources, to be honest. So we don't really run much black. I think it's like 3 cards. So I do expect Tireless Tracker to bite the dust here. But if he doesn't, then we can remove Thalia and maybe get in a swing at Liliana. That Liliana could kill us off quite quickly, though. There is a Kalitas. Interesting. Now I kind of want to get rid of you more than anything. Does swing in for 3 this time, though. We can Green Belt and Fatal Push it away. We can also set the clue though, but which will get us some extra stuff. We can even Oath of Liliana, which will also trigger a Revolt, which is pretty nice. Right, play our Swamp, get a clue. We can crack 2 of our clues, which triggers Fatal Push, which allows us to kill Kalitas. And then we can swing in and kill Liliana. Love it. Excuse me, game. Please do not pay all of the black, the only mana that I want to keep up. We draw an Evolving Wilds, not bad. Sacrifice again. Up to 5. I hope he hasn't got a 1 mana removal spell that I can't think of right now. I'm going with he doesn't. So Fatal Push, destroy a creature up to 4 converted mana cost. Goodbye Kalitas, goodbye Liliana. Fairly successful turn, if I do say so myself. Beautiful. Alright, pass the turn. We're in a... If our Tireless Tracker survives as well, we can also use Prey Upon to actually fight Thalia and get her off the table. Which means we can play and sack an Evolving Wilds on this turn. We'll see. Reprisal. There you go, there's your removal. We do also have Walking Ballista as well that can enter with enough counters to ping off Thalia. Which might be alright. Doesn't swing in again. I don't think he realises that First Strike and Death Touch are not a combination that really matters and makes a difference. So, we could Walking Ballista for 3 if we play Forest and tap out, which means that we can remove 2 counters from it and keep it alive. It's an option. Could Oath of Nissa to find out if there's anything on top that might be quite nice. We could Gear Hulk, shove loads of counters on the Renegade, which allows us to swing in despite Thalia being on the board. Kind of like the idea of the Walking Ballista, though. I would have preferred to have extra counters mechanics, like our Winding Constrictor around, but you can't always wait around for things like that. So I think it's going to be Forest, Walking Ballista, sack 2 counters to take out Thalia. Swinging with a Renegade, even if he activates the Shambling Vents, he's going to lose it to our Renegade, which I'm fine with. Because then we've got a Gear Hulk coming in as an 8/8 Trampler next turn. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Alright. Walking Ballista for 3. Crack 1. And crack 1. If he tries to remove it, we ping it off into his face. And he doesn't. Okay, see if he's got a removal for our Renegade, or if he wants to trade off with a Shambling Vent. I'd be doubtful of both. Yeah. Okay. Pass the turn. Ever After. That'll be why he wasn't going for anything interesting. So that's Kalitas and Thalia back. Annoying. We can Gear Hulk and fight Kalitas, though. Which is okay. It's not great. And I think that's probably what we're gonna do. I could even stick 3 of the counters on the Walking Ballista, actually, and kill Thalia here. Yeah, let's do that. So, we need 1, 2 counters on the Ballista so that we can sack them to kill Thalia. And then 3, 4 to make the Gear Hulk a 6/6, which puts it in range to kill Kalitas. Prey upon with our Gear Hulk on Kalitas. And then remove the counters. Take it out. This deck can be pretty savage when it wants to be. Jesus Christ. Alright. And then we can play an Evolving Wilds. We don't have to crack it just yet. Swing for 3. Sweet. Pass the turn. Liliana, Heretical Healer. Alright. It's a decent blocker. I guess we can crack this Evolving Wilds because we do have the Renegade map in hand and nothing to use a Revolt trigger on. So let's pause. Crack this. Go get another green source. And untap. Ooh, it's Scrounging Banda. A lot better with a Winding Constrictor around. So maybe we try find one with Oath of Nissa. Keep this one around. We've triggered Revolt if Revolt becomes relevant. And it looks like an Arnhem Renegade. I wouldn't have minded that Nature's Way to take out his Liliana, but... beggars can't be choosers. Okay. So... Renegade. We can do all this pre-combat. He's got no cards in hand, so there's no No surprises coming our way. And we can play the Renegade map and tap 4 to put a counter on the Ballista. Start charging it up so it gets some use later down the line. Seems good to me. This is non-token creature. He can flip Liliana if he trades off with the Shambling Vent. Interesting. Well, how much do I care if he does that? Liliana comes back as a 3 loyalty planeswalker, so he can only grab a 2 mana card from his graveyard without just trading her off. Alternatively, he just makes us discard a Rampager, so yeah, that's fine with me. And swing in for 6. Do I want to get in with the Renegade as well? No, because he just suits up the Shambling Vent and trades there. Whereas at the very least we trample over a little bit. Yeah. That's fine. It's not fantastic, but it's fine. He's not going to block with the Shambling Vent. Interesting. Okay. We're going to pass the turn. Holding up mana for the Walking Ballista. Lone Rider. He's got a lot of lifelink. Are you passing? He is. Alright. So we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on the Walking Ballista. We can take out his Lone Rider this way. More lands. Ah! Annoying. Okay. I want to keep the Renegade map around to trigger Revolt whenever we need to. So I guess we take a counter off the Ballista for the Lone Rider. And pretty much force the same attack as last time. Maybe even attacking with the Renegades this time around. Well, play a land. We've got, what, 8 mana? So we can actually start sticking 2 counters on the Walking Ballista every turn. Yeah, I'm going to stick a counter there. Flip his Liliana. And then we can start swinging in at his Liliana. Which is 5 damage. We're going to have to swing in with everything to kill her by the looks of it. Or a lot of things anyway. He's had enough. Okay. Because he can double block the Gear Hulk to save Liliana here. So there's 6 there. He blocks 5. She only takes 1. So an extra Renegade guarantees that she dies there. And then I guess we'll just hit our opponent with the other Renegade as well. Okay. Just lets her die, takes 2. It's probably a smart move. As opposed to trying to blocking lifelink stuff. Alright, the Scrounging Bandar, do I want to put it down or do I want extra counters on the Ballista? I think I want to go with the extra counters because we can take the zombie out and then we've just got the Shambling Vent to worry about. And worry is a strong word for this situation. Because I think we've got it fairly well locked down here. Scrounging Bandar, of course, could put counters in places. Oh, Bruna. Alright. That's a biggie. That's a 5-7 right there. Still going to swing in with our death touches though. Because that's a trade right there. Let's stick some counters on our ballista. Take it up to a 3-3 so we can block this zombie. It's a non-token creature that Liliana has to have killed in order to flip. Here we go. Another scrounging Bandar. Right, I think this time around we play them both. Right. So we could stick a counter on Ballista, kill Liliana, swing in with our Death Touchers for 4. Takes him down to 6. And then our Scrounging Bandars next turn put counters on the Ballista. We pay for the rest of it as well. We can afford to stick an additional counter on there, which I think is probably enough to close out the game. So stick them on there. Get an extra counter on the Ballista so that we can remove counters here. 2 and 3. Kill Liliana. Swing in with our Death Touchers. So he either takes 4 or trades off a 5-7 for a 2-3. Chooses not to block. Okay. So he's down to 6. We can do 3 damage there. Actually, we can do 5 damage there next turn with the Walking Ballista, so we just have to find an extra point of damage, which shouldn't be difficult. Aile Eternal Pilgrim. You can sacrifice creatures to gain life. He's holding on for dear life. So he needs to be at 30 life in order to use the secondary ability, but you can sacrifice creatures and gain 7 life with Bruna in this particular instance. So it'd be a block and sack by the looks of it. I like this guy's deck though. It has kept us back for far too long. Aile's another card that I haven't really played around with, but I really wanted to make a deck that just focuses on getting that secondary ability. Of course, that's a little bit hit and miss. Right, stick counters on the Walking Ballista, please. Yes, just a counter. Actually, I should have put more on. Well. Just a counter for now. Ah, and there's the Winding Constrictor, which makes it even better. Alright. Well, that was a mistake, but we shouldn't get punished for it. Because I can swing in with everything and then sack the 4 counters on the Walking Ballista, and that should have it covered, I think. So he's going to have to block and sack with Bruna, so whichever one he blocks, he's not going to deal damage. So it's probably block there, sack it, gain 7, and then block there, I'm guessing. And then block in one of these places. So actually he survives this turn. Unfortunately for us. I could force him to sack right now with the Walking Ballista. Which, we kill that, we force him to sack there, he gains 7 life, and then we swing in with everything that a Shambling Vent can't kill. Or that we don't care about killing. I think that's what we want to do. 1, 2, 3... Is he going to keep blockers around? He's keeping blockers around. Okay. Well, we're going to Winding Constrictor. And like the last time, we're getting in with our Death Touchers. This time he's probably going to block. Maybe even get his Shambling Vent out. Yeah. So he's going to double block. He's got nothing left back now. So, short of a board wipe, we're all good. Interesting. The AI is being very weird. It should have maybe blocked the other one, I don't know. I guess he wants to keep it around for our Gear Hulk or something like that. Not that it matters, because our Bandars are going to put 4 counters on our Walking Ballista. We can afford to put an extra 2 on there as well, which is actually an extra 4. So we're going to have a very, very large Walking Ballista that he can do nothing about, really. Alright, stick those counters on. Yep, kill yourself. And yes, please kill yourself. And we got a 5-5. Let's stick another counter on it. Or should I say another 2? There we go, we got lethal just on the Walking Ballista alone. So in response to a removal spell, when we go for the attack, we can kill him if we need to. Sweet. That's game. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a great deal. Lets me know you're enjoying the deck and the series. As always, be sure to subscribe for some more Magic Duels content and hit the little bell icon right next to the subscription button to be notified when I release new videos. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.